going on, guys? Welcome back to Max Boneyard Builds. So, I've considered the LS swap complete. Is this project complete? Absolutely not. We got paint, we got interior, we got all types of fun stuff we got to do. So the project itself is not complete. However, the LS swap, the motor swap, has been completed. We ran the fuel, we ran the exhaust, we switched out the drivetrain, we got the PCM talking to it, we got everything working, it pulled out under its own power. It's got a few weird things going on with it I'm going to have to address. I got a small list going on, but any project you have, you're going to have demons that you have to chase down. But I wanted to give a running tally of what I've spent to show that you can have a budget-minded LS swap in 2024, not break the bank, as long as your expectations are reasonable. If you want the biggest cam, if you want to completely rebuild the motor, if you want to, drop a crazy shift kit in the transmission, if you want to do all custom harnesses, all custom PCM, all custom everything, you are going to spend big amounts of money, bigger than this guy's willing to do. However, if you want to just LS swap a car, an old G-body or something, and just nice and basic, get you an LS motor, clean it up, make sure it functions good, switch it out, change out the necessities, that's where I'm at, okay? That's the LS swap I'm talking about. So I'm going to turn you guys around, go through the list, and I'll show you what I spent. All right, so we are going to start out with the 4.8 motor itself. It's $700. Comes with the motor, wiring harness, PCM. You tell them Speedway's where I got it, down in East St. Louis, Madison area. I said I wanted a complete pull-out. They give you everything with it. Okay, that was $700. I got the 4L60 that went with it. Both of those are out of the 02 Silverado. Transmission was $200. Fuse block. Going to go through these one at a time. Fuse block. That is the blade style fuses that all of your injectors and all that fun stuff went into. That was $9. eBay. LS adapter kit. That is all of those billet adapters that runs your oil pressure, your temperature sender, all that stuff that adapts the old 350 size to the LS size. Fuel quick connects. That was $15. Evil Energy. They're the, 3/8 1/2, I think it is, that go on the back of the motor that snap on, that go from the quick connect to the AN. That was $15 for the set. 6 AN fuel kit. That was an Evil Energy 6 AN fuel kit. That was $44. That's the fuel lines from the factory hard lines up to the motor itself. The ICT AN to the factory adapters. One was 15, one was 10, so 25 total. Those are the ICT billet adapters that we hooked to the metal fuel lines from the factory that converted them to AN to run the AN fuel kit up to fuel quick connects. That is like the whole fuel system right there. And luckily the 98 fuel pump and all that stuff had enough pressure we didn't have to mess with any of that. Exhaust gaskets, those were the little donuts for where the collector met up. The O2 bungs, I think I got like a package of like 5 or 6 or something like that. It was cheaper than just buying like 2 separates, so that was $18. The eBay manifolds, those were $120. I'm telling you, those have definitely reached my expectations. They worked out great, and for $120 you can't beat them. Slider motor mounts, those are the eBay knockoff Dingo sliders. Those were $38. My combobulation for the steam port, all those random brass fittings and stuff, that was $10. Exhaust pipe clamps, hangers, that was about $70, man. Exhaust pipe, whenever you start buying that and all your hangers and everything, I mean, shoot, between what, the manifolds and the exhaust pipes and hangers and everything. That's about as much as what I paid for the transmission just in itself. So trans fluid, 30 bucks, miscellaneous wiring, 30 bucks. That gives us a grand total $1,351. So that is what I spent for the LS swap going into the 98. This was the one that always surprises everybody. The truck, it was going to the scrapper. Okay, scrap price around here is about 200 bucks a ton. The truck weighs what, 4,200 pounds or whatever, so that's about $400 in scrap price. So get rid of my slider here. The total before the cores, the entire project as it sits right here with the motor, everything, getting it in my garage, 1,751 bucks. Okay, the 350 core, I haven't returned it yet, but the cores go for about 200 bucks. The 98 4L60, I turned in the 98 4L60 whenever I bought the 02 4L60, and I got a $100 core for that, which brings the grand total $1,451. So there you have it, $1,451. Now, I guarantee this video I'm going to get a bunch of backlash, and I'm going to get a bunch of guys in the comments, and people are going to be saying there's no way that you can do it on that kind of a budget. You know, obviously you're going to have other things factored in. If you don't have a soldering iron and solder, if you don't have a welder to weld up the exhaust, if you don't have the heat shrinks and different things like that for all the wiring, if you need the extra wiring itself, the copper wire, and you don't have spools of it like I do or whatever, that's going to cost you extra money. You know, I mean, all that stuff will add up, obviously. You know, just trying to think of other random stuff, other random tools, or other, you know, if your rad's busted on the old one and you got it, because I used the factory rad, I used the factory drive shaft because I was able to do all those things. Obviously, if you're putting an LS in something that never had that style of motor and transmission in it, you're going to have to get custom drive shafts. You're going to have to do those things. That's obviously an extra 200 bucks, 300 bucks, whatever it is. And if you're watching this in like the great state of California, I think everything is doubled in price, if not more. So obviously that number, 1451, there you go. Now you're pushing right at $3,000, you know, just for conversation's sake of where I live. So, but I just wanted to show you guys it can be done. You can LS swap on a budget if you're working on a budget. If you have a big bank account, by all means. If I had a huge bank account with money to spend, I'm sure I'd be doing Holly Terminators, and I'd be doing you know, all custom everything and big crazy lopey cams and the whole 9 yards, and that number would not be there. Add a 0 next to the 1, you'd probably be at 10 grand, you know. I used all the factory wiring from the 98. I used a factory PCM and wiring harness that came from the junkyard. I used all the free programs, LS Droid, PCM Hammer, all those good ones. Did all the tuning, the VATS delete, all that stuff. Took all that off myself. Obviously, if this is your very first one and you're going to have to like buy the OBDX Pro or different things, yeah, it's going to tack on an extra 100 bucks, you know, to this price. But that's cheaper than buying HP tuners or something. If your pockets are deep, get HP tuners, by all means. I just do this as cheap as I can, but make it function, make it safe. I don't do anything cheap enough, so cheap that I don't feel it's safe. All the wiring is soldered, heat shrinked, all that stuff. It's not just twisty tied with a little dab of electric tape on it or nothing. Make sure you do it, you know, safe and correct. By no means, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not certified. Don't take what I say as gold. I don't expect anyone to do that. I'm just a novice guy who enjoys wrenching, who enjoys doing projects like this. This was going to the scrapper. I couldn't see it do that, so I had to save it. If you guys have any questions, if I missed anything, I tried to run through my receipts and run through my online orders and everything to see what I had, but I got the exhaust, I've got the fuel, I've got the motor mounts. That's about it for this project. This was a very budget-friendly project, even purchasing the truck, $1,751 before the cores. I mean, the 350 is still sitting in the corner. That's why I kept it. Last video needed the different temperature sender. That's why it's still sitting in the corner. But anyways, that's where I'm at, guys. I just wanted to make a video, let you guys see what it cost me to get this budget running, to this project running on the budget I was on. If you guys got any questions, hit me up. I'll try and answer them. If I forgot anything, hit me up with a question and I'll tell you what the price is. So until then, you guys keep wrenching on your projects. Don't be scared. Get your hands dirty. Save these old cars. Get them back on the road. And plus, tons of fun doing it. Tons of fun. I'll see you guys next time. Max Boneyard Builds.